Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Trace Amigos Talk Show. It is always a pleasure and an honor to have each and every one of you guys here with us tonight. Thank you so much. We'll get to everybody here in just a minute, but tell us where you're from. Tell us what you're wearing in beard. And most of all, we're just glad to have you here, guys. We are excited about our guest tonight. I am so excited to be joined by my two good friends, the Bearded Chief and the Tactical Santa. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm doing good. I had an awesome week. Just getting the work in, started some new projects, keeping myself going, plugging away, can't complain. And I am absolutely excited for this guest we have because I actually met him at a beard event last weekend in Ohio. So this is going to be awesome. I'm excited. It's going to be super cool.
Did you enter?
No, you know what? The funny thing is, Chief, I didn't enter because I convoyed down with somebody else, and we're like, well, the last time we convoyed to a beard thing, it took forever. And since I was entered, it got stuck there to like 5 or 6. So I'm like, I'm not going to enter. So that way, if we want to leave, we can leave, right? Well, this one was like strictly business, man. They were like, boom, boom, boom. Everything was done way ahead of time. I looked at the person. I'm like, I should have entered because I think I could have like placed. And I didn't enter because I thought it was going to take too long.
Definitely could have placed.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't want to get stuck here if it takes too long and then be like, well, we got to wait because it's not done. So that's why I didn't do it. Yep. But I should have.
No, I get it, man. I get it. Time restrictions and all that. I've had a pretty good week, man. The weather up here has been really good. Thank goodness. And got some good workout time in. Got some time on the bike. Got a little bit of wind therapy today. Got new tires on her. She's ready to go.
Yeah. I am so jealous, Chief. I am so jealous. I don't ride anymore. I don't have a motorcycle anymore, not because, the heart and all that. But I am jealous because today would have been a good therapy ride. It would have been awesome. Nothing like getting the wind.
It was so nice,
Yeah.
And I'm getting a little older, man, and I'm on a gold wing, man, and the radio's blasting, and I could turn, all the air vents on me and just,
yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Old man bike.
Comfy couch. Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Before we get too deep into this, I do want to remind everybody that Monday nights, Monday Night Mayhem, they have Dalton Ewan on. And you guys don't miss that. I know he is. You can tell he's a little bit of the guest that we have on tonight. He's a little bit of a supporter. So you guys make sure you tune in Monday night and check out Monday Night Mayhem with the Bearded Chief and Tactical Santa as they welcome Dalton Ewan. I'm sure it's going to be a great show. I am not responsible for anything said or done on those shows, just so y'all know. I claim immunity. And tonight, guys, the Bearded Respect has Jason Sealand on, guys, for Mad Viking. You guys make sure you tune in right after the show and support the Bearded Respect. We have much respect for the respect. So you guys make sure you tune in for that. But before we get into all that, guys, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and say hello real quick to everybody that we got here tonight. I don't even know if I want to pull the first one up. First one in here tonight, guys, Mr. Pud Rose, a.k.a. Lala's Pull Boy. Love it. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here, fellow Texan.
Nice.
Baker, I think Baker will watch later. What's going on, Mixed
Breed?
What's up, brother? John Fox, always a pleasure having you here. Thank you for your faithfulness in every show that I always see you in. Melissa, we'll see you on the rerun. Thank you so much for checking in. Santa Allen, how you doing, brother? Thank you, man. Appreciate you being here. Jeff Hyman. Hey, brother. All right. Mr. Robert Allen.
What's
up, brother? Born Bearded.
Man with the awesome beard.
Absolutely. And wonderful, wonderful reviews, man.
Yep.
Just professional.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Miss Kay. How you doing? Speaking of professionals. And we can start the show now. Bob and Terry are here. Freaking crack. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. Phil, bearded on a budget. How are you? There she is. Hey, Stacy.
Trouble's here.
Hey. And there they are.
Buddy.
Ricky and Ronnie. How you doing?
Buddy.
Okay. This is the part when everybody starts saying hello there. I have to start kind of scrolling through here.
Right.
Mr. Jeff Height, how you? Good to see you, man. Look at that beard. Chief, I think he may give you a run for your money there, brother. Oh, man. Mr. Dino, thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here. You guys make sure you go check out Mr. Dino on Dino MN Life and Living channel. Very inspirational gentleman right there. Mr. 30 Spray J.
Spray.
Bane Blends, how are you, sir? I was talking to somebody about your oil today at work.
Hello, Randy.
Randy R.
I don't have one yet. I gotta get on and get in the game here. Hey, Randy, how you doing, brother? There's Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, what's going on there, brother? Mr. Chad, Beards, Heads, and Threads. You guys make sure you go check out Chad on his channel. And I'm sure we will be talking about that collaboration tonight. Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
How's it going, brother? Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, as always. Mr. Wayne Wilson.
Wayne.
All right. Who we got here? Mr. Shifty Switchblade. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Brother Amber in the house.
Amber.
All right. I don't know. Hey, Brad. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man?
Hey, Toby. Toby Finsley. How you doing? Hey, Chief. All right. All right, guys. This is the toughest part of the show here. Just scrolling through. I don't want to miss anybody. There he is, Jordan. Mr. Bearded Elf. How you doing, brother?
What's happening?
I got to get that sound effects thing hooked up. All right. I don't remember. I think I said hi to Brad. Brad, how you doing, brother? Again. Jessica, babysitter Jess, how are you?
Let's go.
Hello.
Guys, there's 47 people in here. Appreciate all you guys in here. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Corey.
If you guys ever want to catch Corey, he is about live every day, if not a couple times a day. I always enjoy his just turning Corey on and listen to him work. All right. And there's Ray Smokey.
Ray Smokey.
What up?
What's going on, brother?
Frankie J.
Frankie.
Hey, man. All right. Stacy K. I think we are about caught up. I don't think I missed anybody. Kevin P. How you doing?
Hey, there he is.
There we go.
What's going on? And if you guys tell me if you think I missed anybody, but I think I'm pretty much caught up. If anybody jumps in late, guys, I'm sorry. I'll get you up on the screen. Mr. Billy Joyner.
Hello.
How you doing? Wayne Wilson, how are you? I don't remember. See, this you start running through, you just can't remember who you said hello to. Bearded Respect makes us look so easy.
They do.
Hey,
Hey.
Right? How are you?
What's happening, Papa?
Papa Beard Cove. All right. Okay. Just when I think I'm caught up, it just keeps going. There's Mr. and I think old Seth Church. How you doing, Seth?
What's happening?
Good to see you. All right, guys. I think we're caught up. Do you guys have anything else?
Now, let's rock and roll.
Guys, before we bring them in, you guys make sure you check out Bearded Death. I got the Bearded Death, the website. I've got the website pin, and 25 all caps OFF will save you 25% until midnight. So don't miss out. If you've always wanted to try Bearded Death, or maybe want to stock up on your favorite scents or beard washes or T-shirts or whatever you want to stock up on, jump over there. Help support Dan. What a great guy. You won't meet a nicer guy, a nicer owner in the bearded community. We are so excited about it. And without further ado, if you guys are okay with it, I'll go ahead and bring our guest on.
Let's do it.
What's going on, Dan?
What's
up, guys?
What's happening?
Howdy.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys. Always remember, guys, ask your questions for Dan in the chat. I will star them and get to them during a break. But before that, Chief and Dino always got their famous questions for our guest. If you guys are ready, have at it.
Bring it.
So, you know, we know you. We've known you for a long time. It feels like we don't even need to do this to get to know you, but I like to do it. So I think I'll go first today, Dina. What do you think?
Sounds good, Chief. Let's roll.
A little bit of this and that. Okay. Let's see. Some kid got a hold of your earbuds, okay? And there's 2 songs stuck on your earbuds, and you're at the gym, and you can only listen to what was that? You can only listen to 2 songs. Bop, or I'm a Barbie girl all day in the gym. Pick one.
Hanson, bop.
Me too.
Yeah. I can't see me getting down with the Barbie girl song.
Oh man, come on.
You haven't lived until you've karaoke'd that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have.
All right. Beard oil that smells like pizza or one that smells like campfire marshmallows?
Campfire marshmallows actually sounds like it could actually be something that's put out there already.
Yeah.
I mean, there's s'mores, right?
Right.
Puts a little smoke to there, you know?
Sure.
So I think I would go with that one, the marshmallow.
No pizza in the beard? No pizza.
Not through an oil anyway, maybe while eating pizza, you know.
Right.
Okay. You've seen that thing with 100 men and 1 gorilla, right? It's like the last week everybody's talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You are included in 95 of these men. I need you to pick 5 more men.
Anybody in the world?
Yeah. There's 95 of you normal Joes. I need 5 more to get to that 100. Who you picking to fight that gorilla?
The Mountain. You guys know who the Mountain is?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Okay, well, strongest man, the Mountain. Eddie Hall.
Sure.
You guys know who Eddie Hall is?
Yep.
Iron Mike Tyson in his prime.
Yeah.
Okay. Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
20 Spray Ray, Smokey, just for shits and giggles. Because the rest of us got it. So
let's go.
I'd agree with those choices.
I liked all of them.
I don't know though. I think I would have to have Bearded Chief with me. Bearded Chief's got to be one of my guys. I mean, I got to have him in the 5.
So I got to go down with the rest of them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. You're in a death metal band. Your beard is your stage name. What is it called, and what's your debut album?
hold on, do this one again.
You're in a death metal band. Your beard is your stage name. What is it called, and what's your debut album?
The Bearded Death. The album's called Skull Pile.
There we go.
I mean, it's already set up.
Sure.
Heck
Sure.
yeah.
Hell yeah, easy pick.
Right.
All right. Well, this one isn't my question. It's from, let's say, a fan of yours.
Oh,
Okay. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. I don't know what this means, but I was asked to ask you. Okay.
okay.
Sick day or full day of work?
Definitely a sick day. I know exactly who the fan was too.
Okay. Is there a backstory?
I'll be talking to her later about that.
I don't know anything about it.
Definitely sick day.
Okay.
All right. So, do your impression of Santa Tom or be on the naughty list the rest of your life.
I'll do my impression of Santa Tom right now.
Let's do it.
He's probably going to block me as soon as I do it. Probably see his screen go black and it'll be it. You're not going to be mad at me, right, Tom?
Absolutely not.
Okay. It probably is not gonna. I'm probably not gonna do it justice like this. If you guys were right in front of me, it might sound a little better. But Santa Tom here. Wait. Yeah, that's it. Santa Tom here. That's the best I got.
Well,
That was pretty good.
I will say it is better in person. I witnessed it in person.
Yeah, Dino heard it this weekend. Yeah.
Who
I
else
don't
were
have
you
a chief.
impersonating?
I don't have a chief impersonation or a Dino one. Sorry.
Bearded Death out. Bye-bye. That's it.
You guys can impersonate me all you want. I don't.
All right.
You know, Chief, until he does impersonations of you and I, he can't be part of Elf Team 6 yet.
No.
We got to wait. He's got to do impersonations before he gets into Elf Team 6.
Yeah. So
I was gonna hook up a shirt too for Santa just for this live with the Bearded Death logo, and then put like the Santa hat on the Bearded Devil, but I didn't have no time to get it done. But I think I'll still make it for him and get it to him.
Not after that. I don't know. Okay, this is kind of a weird one. Change a light bulb on a water tower or a windmill. Change a light bulb on the top of a water tower or a windmill.
I don't know. Change a light bulb on a water tower or a windmill?
Yeah.
I guess a water tower. And I don't really have a reason why.
You know, I thought about that. The climb up is curved, and then you change the light bulb, and then you got to climb down that weird shape.
Right.
I think
I'm gonna let you know now. I'm not going up either because I'm afraid of heights.
But we need that light bulb changed.
You're gonna have to go up because I ain't. We'll be in the dark because I ain't climbing up. I don't do heights. It gets past 6-7 feet. That's it. I'm done. I'm grounded.
Okay, fair enough.
You guys remember the show The A-Team in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember Mr. T's biggest fear?
B.A. Baracus.
B.A. Baracus. He hated flying. He had to get knocked out to fly. That's kind of like me. I won't go up in a plane, fool.
Yeah. Every single episode, they were drugging him.
Yeah, drugging him up to go in a helicopter or a plane.
All right, Dan. You walk into a biker bar. A guy challenges your beard to a duel. What product do you slap on, and what's your battle cry?
Am I trying to beat this guy?
Yep.
Okay. Probably some third-party Walmart beard care brand that sucks, that would harm him, and I'd slap it on full blast, open palm, and then hopefully it causes some major damage. I probably wouldn't use any of mine or anybody else's in the chats here in the beard community because we all put out pretty good products. So why waste that stuff on him? I would do something that would cause some damage.
What would your battle cry be though? What would the battle cry? What would you yell at him when you're coming at him?
Fear the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in a situation like that, do we really say much?
I could see you screaming out "Fafo." I could.
Yeah. Or just saying it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, teach a teenager to parallel park using a 77 Cadillac, or teach the same teenager to drive a stick shift in your sports cart.
The first one, because I'm going through that right now with my oldest already. you know how kids are, they know everything.
Yeah.
You know, they know everything. I'd rather him use that 70s card and parallel park than screwing up my sports car.
I took my driver's test and parallel parked a 77 Cadillac. Yes, sir.
A land.
whale.
Oh,
Land,
yeah. I passed too, by the way.
Well, if you can drive that, you can pretty much have your CDL, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I got the chat up here so I can check out the comments.
Yeah. Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys.
Brad is asking how tall you are, Dan.
6'4". 6'4", 298 right now. Last year, we were at the Bearded Villains East Coast meet, and I got to meet Stacy from Wicked Wednesday. Finest was there, Johnny Z, and Chris from Elegant Sasquatch was there, and me and him were like twinning. We were like the twin towers there, standing next to each other. He's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
You think he's like 6'5", 6'6". He's a big dude.
Jeez. It's all you.
All right. The alien invasion is happening, but aliens are only afraid of strong beard game. What bearded death combo saves the world?
Norse code.
Yeah.
You gotta think Vikings, right?
Right.
Pretty badass. So Norse code is that the leather up front, sandalwood,
Right.
that we did with the Michigan Norsemen, Bearded Villains. That one would do it.
Yeah, I saw Lurch this past weekend. Lurch is a tall dude.
Lurch is huge.
He's a big dude, man.
Yeah, he was at the East Coast meet. That's where I knew him from last year at the Bearded Villains East Coast meet. And
Right.
he just happened to be there at that beard competition this past weekend. And yeah, he's huge. But he's a gentle giant. He's super cool, super nice guy. He's with the Empire State Bearded Villains up there in New York. He came down from New York for it. But yeah, he's super cool. There was another guy that dwarfs me and Chris that was there at the East Coast meet last year too. He's like the same size as Lurch. I mean, those guys are truly the twin towers. I don't know the other guy's name, but some big motherfuckers. I can say
Lurch
that on
was
here, right? Without getting you guys kicked off, right?
Not so far.
I gotta watch myself on here. I know I'm on a Chad show, Beards, Heads, and Threads. His son's on there, so I kind of watch my mouth, a little bit, but I kind of watch my mouth around kids. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
Oh, shoot. I'm out of questions. You out of questions? Actually, I got one more, but it's kind of stupid.
I got one. I'll throw in there. Okay. Let's see. Have to name your beard and introduce it to everyone, or let people pet it like a dog.
Ooh.
I mean, people pet it anyway, right? So
No.
you guys get your beards pet, don't you?
No, they don't.
No.
No,
Oh, I do.
People do not pet my beard.
I was in Connecticut like 3 weeks ago at a pro wrestling event that I was sponsoring, and the one lady was getting some oils for her boyfriend, and she goes, "Can I pet your beard?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So she said, "Oh, this feels so nice in your beard," and then she got some stuff for her boyfriend.
Did you make her a pizza flavored beard oil?
No, I didn't.
That'd be awesome.
I think she got Coconut Nightmare.
I mean, my beard right now.
You got Coconut Nightmare in?
Yep.
Right on.
Well, we do have a question. 30 Spray J asks, what is your top selling scent from Bearded Death?
Vanilla. Yeah. It sounds so generic, such a generic answer, but it's not you'd have to try it before you'd understand why that's the number one seller. It's not just vanilla. It's a special vanilla fragrance blend, and it's probably the third oil that I put out, and we've only been around for a little over a year, but it's still my number one seller out of everything we put out.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think that is for a couple of reasons. One, it's pretty versatile. If you wanted to put it with, any other kind of fragrance, beard balm or butter, it goes well with it, or even another beard oil that's a different fragrance. But also, if you have a girlfriend or wife, it's not very standout. It's not put offish. It's something that they would enjoy also. So, if you run out of something like that and they like it, they're probably going to pick it up for you, because they want to keep smelling it on you. So I think that's another reason why it's a big seller.
Yeah, like you said, it's versatile. You could go date night. You could go to the gym. You could relax at home. It fits all those categories.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Shifty would like to know why did you start doing collaborations?
He's one of the big reasons why. It's funny he asked that, huh? He was in a chapter with a few other guys of Bearded Villains. It was the Motor City Villains, Detroit, and he approached me about would I be interested in doing a collaboration oil with their chapter, and I said, yeah, sure. I mean, I never thought about it before. What does it entail and whatnot? And he's like, well, we'll come up with a scent profile, and you see if you can do it. And then, if it works, then we can hook it up like that. And that's where Cherry Inferno came from. The original Cherry Inferno was a collaboration oil with me and the Motor City Villains. Later on, when that chapter disbanded and kind of broke up and went their separate ways, the Motor City Villains are still around. They're doing their own thing. Daryl, who just asked this question, started his own chapter called the Michigan Norsemen with a few of the other guys. And when they started that chapter, is when I dropped the Michigan Norseman beard oil. So that was with his new chapter, which it became such a great seller that we ended up doing the balm for it and the butter for it as well. So then after that, it kind of steamrolled other beard clubs, not just the Bearded Villains, but International Beard Alliance, Renegade Beard Club reached out to me about doing collaboration beard oils. And I think if you look on the website, I'm not 100% sure, but I think now there's actually more collaboration beard oils than my regular beard oils because I've done so many collaborations now with various chapters and different clubs. And, like recently we just did that one with our boy Chad's Choice from Beards, Heads, and Threads. I have another one coming out soon with a pro wrestler that is, I'm not going to give any more information on that one, but that one's coming out soon. And I keep saying I'm not going to do any more collaborations because they're not always so easy to come up with and do, because it can be complicated because you got to go back and forth, and try to make sure that this is what the other party wants. You know what I mean? Right. So it's very time consuming. I keep saying I'm not going to do any more collaborations. This is the last one, and now I have like 3 or 4 more coming out by summer.
Right.
Dan, I got a question.
If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't have started doing collaborations.
Right.
Brother Amber mentioned what was that? Bring that comment up from her. Toasted Hippie. I'm not familiar with that one. You want to tell me a little bit about Toasted Hippie?
Toasted Hippie is a very clean patchouli smelling with a sandalwood. It's not like that dirty, earthy patchouli that you would think you would smell walking into a head shop. You know what I mean? It's a very clean patchouli, and the sandalwood kind of mellows it out. And it's, it seems like a lot of people are liking that one too. That one dropped about a month ago.
Right.
It's good. Surprisingly good. And I say that because I wasn't sure what to expect. And you know, and Dan, one of the things that is surprising to me about your scents when I first started purchasing them is, for one, the simplicity of them, right? And I think that we can tend to get so caught up on, oh, this is so layered, this is this, that, which you have some scents that are like that. But the neat thing is you have scents that are, and I think I did a video on that, and they range from you can have the lightest scent to on fire, and Cherry Inferno is probably one of the strongest cherry scents I've ever smelled, right?
Totally.
So,
yeah.
And then you got everything in between. So you offer everything from the bottom to the top to the masses, right? And that's what I love about Bearded Death. It's not just something that's just atypical. This is what you're going to get. That's it.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it is just
Sure.
so different. Is that how you live your life? You just don't want to be like everybody else?
I've always been, if you know me, you know, I've always been that way. You know, I've always been doing my own thing. And the other thing is too, with the whole keeping it simple, I think it was 20 Spray Ray that said this in one of his posts a while back, is where Bearded Death is kind of like a minimalist beard care company with as far as the ingredients go. And I live my life like that, try to keep things simple because life is complicated as it is, you know, so I try to keep everything, you know, pretty simple. There are some products that I have out that, you know, have a wider range of ingredients. But I always try to keep things simple. And the way I look at it is it's more bang for your buck, simple but effective type products.
Right.
Brad would like to know, how did you come up with number 5?
Number 5 is a vanilla sandalwood. That is also those Michigan Norseman bearded villain guys loved my vanilla beard oil, but they also loved the sandalwood that I put out, and they were always mixing the two. They were always combining the two, and they're like, this would be a good one if it was together, you know, with your vanilla, you know. And I experimented with it, and that's where it came from. Number 5 was the 5th one I ever put out, and that's where number 5 came from.
Right.
Yeah, nailed it on the head, Ray. Absolutely, 100%. I feel the same way. But I will say this, Chief and Dino. You know, I try to represent a lot. Everybody that we support, all the beard companies, you know, the brotherhood, the community. I try to wear a different shirt every Saturday when my wife and I go out to eat breakfast. That's our date for the week, right? If everybody knows me, they know that's our date. We go out we'll hit the IHOP, we'll hit the Denny's, we'll hit whatever. Yeah, right? So we'll go out to eat. And I try to wear a different shirt every week of a company. The most asked about shirt that I get is when I wear the Bearded Death, because people inevitably always come up,
Right.
who is this smiling guy wearing this shirt, right? And they come up, what is going on with this bearded? And I have to explain, but it opens that door. Oh, you haven't heard about Bearded Death? Well, you need to get on and, you know, so.
Right.
But yeah, just had to throw that out there.
Right.
Well, we're going to do a giveaway tonight, Dan, and nobody's ever done a giveaway quite like this.
Uh-oh.
What is it? Uh-oh.
Oh, no, uh-oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
so should I talk about it and then we just get into it, or do you want to hold off a little while?
No, go for it. Let's do it.
Okay. Dan and I both kind of go to the gym a little bit. You know, he goes a lot more than I do. I drive past it, so that kind of counts as going to the gym. And it hit me. I was like, you know, for a giveaway, how awesome would it be for everybody in the comments to guess? Like, you got to guess down to like a 1/4 inch of how big Dan's pythons are. So if you want to do, yeah, exactly. He's got a flexible tape there. What do you call them? Seamstress tapes.
Seamstress tape.
Measure. So if you don't have any, you know, we could just roll on with it now and start the guesses.
Guys, enter your guesses in. We're going to be doing actually 3 giveaways tonight. So the rest are going to be drawings, but this one right here,
we're not going to be measuring 3 different things. We're only going to be measuring the others.
No. Hey, They were talking about that before the show, but you guys don't worry. Santa Tom stepped in and said, absolutely not. We're not doing that. This is a kid-friendly show. We are going to keep it.
It's a family show.
But we are going to guess right now. Go ahead and throw in your guess right now about how big you think the big man himself, Python, is. There's some good guesses coming in already. And get your guesses, and we'll let that run for a minute. Let them talk for a few minutes, and then we'll get that up here, guys.
Right. So, Dan, is this like a fresh pump, and you're going to measure them now?
I mean, I trained a few hours ago, so
All
I
right.
mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll measure it now. I mean, I know what it was the other day when we were talking about it because I was curious.
Yeah.
You know, some of these guys know this on in the chat. You know, I had some heart issues at the end of summer, and my training and eating and everything like that kind of took a back seat over just trying to stay alive and being around for my family and stuff. So they're probably not as big as they were 6 months ago, but I think they got some size yet to them. So let me it's not as easy as it seems by yourself, you know.
24
All
and a
right,
half.
guys, he's measuring. If you're going to get your last minute guess in,
Can't see that.
Just
Mark
put your
giving
finger on it.
Mark giving you some love.
Yeah, he is.
Who's giving me some love?
Mark.
Oh wow, yeah, I wish. You know, Ronnie Coleman's. You know who Ronnie Coleman is, right?
Right.
Mr. Olympia. His were 24 inches, so I ain't Ronnie Coleman.
No.
Whoa, Ray Smokey definitely gave you some love.
Yeah.
You guys
Dan,
are
do you
generous.
see
You
any
guys are
winners?
generous.
Do you see any winners?
I seen a winner already.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, we'll start with
And it was
going
right on the
down
dot.
here. So what is it, Dan?
20 inches on the dot.
20 inches on the dot. Well, the first one was Lurch.
I seen him say it.
Yeah, I think he was the first one who said it. So
You know, it's not fair. It's not really fair though because he just seen me over the weekend, so he had a good idea.
But did he measure you? I mean, I mean, you know, I mean, it's hard for me to. I mean, you know, guys, we can look at something and automatically think it's bigger than what it is. So
That's true. That's true.
That's a pretty good guess.
That happens with a lot of things. Yeah.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
You know,
Nope,
that fish was that big.
That's 6 inches.
Lurch nailed it. 20 inches
That's 6
for
inches.
my
right?
arm. For my arm.
Well, I'm pretty sure Lurch knows how to get in contact with you.
Yeah, he's on the Instagram. I'll reach out to him, or he can reach out to me, and I'll get him an oil. You know, he just had he was selling an oil too at the beard competition this weekend for the Empire State Buildings, and I picked one up. You'll never guess what it smells like. Powdered donut.
Wow,
It smelled exactly like a powdered donut. It was amazing.
Nice.
I
that's
like
a cheap scent right there.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations, Lurch. Appreciate you being here, brother. It's nice to meet you, and it's good having you here. Any friend of Dan is a friend of the Trace Amigos. So we will do another giveaway here in just a few minutes, guys. We'll do 2 more. That's per Dan. We appreciate it. And this is a beard oil scent of your choice. So when you win, please reach out to Dan, and we'll get it going. Dino, man, I really like that background.
Thank you.
Dino, Chief Dino is the man of 1,000 backgrounds and as well as shoes and
A few.
everything else.
Advertising.
Right. So Dan, let me ask you this. What got you into making beard products? What pushed you to say, you know what, I can make better, or I want to do this? What got you into it?
About 5 or so years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I was interested in trying to be an influencer on Instagram and YouTube for fitness stuff. I had a beard, but I really didn't think much about beard care products at the time. I was very much into retro gaming. I still am. I love old school video games like Nintendo, Sega, you know, stuff like that. I love everything nostalgic, like 80s stuff. I love that stuff. That's my thing. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have Super Mario Brothers tattooed on my arm. I love, you know, I love old school stuff.
Heck yeah.
So with that being said, I followed a lot of like old school video game accounts on my social media, and this was 8-Bit Beard Company popped up for that reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was still trying to get sponsors and you know, endorse products for free stuff. And he really didn't have nothing at that time. He just launched, I believe, at that time, and he didn't have nothing set up as far as like an ambassador or a program or anything like that. But I reached out to him and said I'd post up some, you know, post about it in exchange for product, and he just sent me a couple things, which was, you know, very cool of him to do. And and I always say this, he probably doesn't even know that I'm the guy that started Bearded Death after, you know, all these, you know, a couple of years back. But that's how I got my introduction into the beard care product. And there's also a local girl around here that did something on a very, very, very small batch scale, and you know, a few oils here and there. And she made me something. She wanted me to push her products too. It was very woodsy. That's all I remember. It was like a really strong woodsy cedarwood type scent beard oil. I mean, it was overwhelmingly strong to the point where I didn't want to wear it, you know, but I didn't want to be mean or rude. So I started looking into how can I dilute this? You know, obviously I can't use water. You know, I didn't know anything about beard care at the time, or how can I change this and make it less strong because it was so powerful? So I started looking, okay, what goes into a beard oil? You know, and I started reading up on it. And while I was experimenting that and diluting it with more jojoba oil or argan oil or whatever, I'm like, I could do this myself. You know, I could make beard care products, I bet. And it was kind of in the back of my head, and I kind of just put on the back burner. And then like a year later, you know, fall of 2023, I started Bearded Death.
Nice.
That's how I started Bearded Death. And I really didn't expect it to get to this point or grow this big or that fast. It was just kind of like, I'll just do a couple beard oils and see where it takes me. And then, you know, the more and more I got involved within the beard community and making products, the more it started taking off and gaining traction, and people saying that, you know, you actually, you have a talent for what you do, you should try and do more, you know. So with a little encouragement and pushing me, I started trying to do a little better and making different products. And it's been 14 months now, or 15 months. Yeah, 15 months we've been around. Nice. We're still kind of new, you know, but got a nice little following of people. And
right.
You know, I love doing it. I'm very passionate about making beard care products now, all kinds, from beard oils, the balms, the butters, the washes. I love everybody in the beard community, even the people that are not necessarily a fan of what we do, you know, but I have a feeling that, you know, once they do find out about Bearded Death and learn a little more about it, they start falling in love with it a little bit. And, you know, I just like the whole community, you know, and the togetherness of it, and the support that everybody gives each other in it, from, you know, not just between customers and things like that, or even reviewers, but between different beard care companies too, you know, trading ideas and supporting each other just by purchasing their products and giving advice and things like that. I think that's so awesome. You don't see it. You know, I work in the supplement industry, and you don't see it. You don't see it in the supplement industry.
No.
You know, it's very competitive and cutthroat and a lot of gatekeeping. But with the beard community, it's very open-minded. People try to help each other out and push each other. And, you know, I love it.
Right. You know, they brings up the beard wash. I just want to make a comment about that. So let me ask you a question about your beard wash. So when I got your beard wash, I poured out and I'm like, oh, it's kind of gelatinous and thick. And I was like, oh. And then I put it in beard, but it works amazing. So what was when you were making your beard wash, because everybody's beard wash, most of them seem kind of very thin viscosity or very medium viscosity. Yours is a consistency. What made you do that? Why did you do that?
I didn't like how a lot of beard washes, because I experimented not just with my own, but I tried a few others too. And I also listened to some other people telling me that, it's runny. It's like they put it in their hand in the shower, and before they even bring it up to their beard, it's gone, and I didn't like the idea of that. And even when I was experimenting and making it on my own, I noticed that too. I didn't like that it was like almost, beard oil thick, the velocity of a beard oil, that runny, for something that's going to be in your beard for a wash.
Right.
So then I started, researching a little bit on thickeners and things like that, like guar gum and things like that to thicken it. And it's not to the point where it's a beard wash anymore. It's almost like a beard shampoo, but it's still a beard wash. I just like the thickness of it. So you don't really need like you don't need that much. You could use like a dime drop, and it'll lather up good and last you longer too.
Right. I've been using it this week, and I got to tell you, I really like it. It's been working good for me. But like I said, at first I was a little surprised. I'm like, okay, and then I put it in. I'm like, yeah, it works amazing. So yeah.
Santa, does a dime work for that big thing of yours?
What's that now? Oh,
does a dime size amount work for your beard?
Not my. I will tell you what. This beard wash, I just got Coconut Nightmare, the beard wash in, and for one, it's the scent is absolutely amazing. But I was pleasantly surprised as well. Because I am a beard wash connoisseur. That's my whole shelves are just full of beard wash and conditioners. I've got my favorites, but I was pleasantly surprised, which I don't know why, because you've come to know what to expect from Dan, or you should by now if you've been ordering this stuff by any chance. Guys, do remember 25 off. That's 25, all caps, OFF will save you 25% at Bearded Death. Go get yours today. We do have a few questions. A couple guys, Fox Stash asked, and also says, I am starting the YouTube thing. Any advice? But also, we have another question. Dan, like Fox Stash, I'm new to YouTube. I just started my gardening channel, which I've seen and just subscribed, and it is absolutely a wonderful channel. Beard care showcase this year in growing season. Any advice? So you got a couple people asking for your advice on the YouTube thing.
I'm not, huge on YouTube, but yeah, as you guys know, I just started my YouTube, actually adding content to it a few months ago, and I'm still slowly growing it. That would be more of your guys' expertise. But as far as what people would like to watch, I think that's a cool combo, gardening and beard care. That reminds me of somebody like Johnny Z. Johnny Z loves his gardening and stuff like that, and he loves his beard care. I think he should reach out to Johnny Z and get some ideas, and maybe even have him on there on his channel too. If you can get him on there, that'd be a cool little collaboration, and definitely somebody who would offer some good advice, I think.
That's a good question from Brad there, Dan.
Yep. Is Dan's beard wash coming both scented and unscented?
We were just talking about that before the show went on. I have vanilla and coconut nightmare right now for the beard wash, because it's somewhat of a new product for me. My plan is to definitely offer an unscented one, because not everybody wants to smell a certain way when they're going to be adding an oil later, or whatever beard care product that has a fragrance to it later on. Some people need that neutral wash smell. Non-smell. But I do want to offer it for every beard oil I have, a fragrance for each one, eventually. But the next one I do is actually going to be fragrance free.
These two, please. These two.
Well, guys, we just had Mike Brewer jump in, and out of respect for Mike Brewer and the Bearded Respect, I just want to do a quick commercial break. In all due respect to Dan, after the show, please check into the Bearded Respect and check out Jason Seelan of Mad Viking, who they have on tonight. Please go show your support to the Bearded Respect. We look up to these guys. They are highly, highly respected by the Trace Amigos talk show. Guys, remember again, 25 off will save you 25%. I say we do another giveaway, guys, here in just a second. I'll get it set up and get it ready. But before we do that, I think it's time, Dino, for the question.
The question, you say, Santa Tom?
I do.
My question is this, Dan: if you could go and see any performer or entertainer, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
I love all kinds of music. If you ask any of my close friends, or if you guys follow me on my one account, you know that even with my clothing brand, I kind of do collaborations with bands and stuff like that. And music has always been a part of my life. I love all kinds. Hip hop. You know, my son's middle name is after a Johnny Cash song. You know, I love hardcore music and punk rock and old school metal. When I was 12 years old, my mom gave me her Black Sabbath record, Master of Reality, and I've always been ever since then. I've always been a Black Sabbath fan. I'm not sure if I'd want to see. I know they're going to do that one reunion show in London, but I don't think I'd want to see him how he is now. No offense to Ozzy, but you know, definitely old school Black Sabbath. I would love to see Black Sabbath live. I never got to see Black Sabbath, and I'd love to see Black Sabbath.
Yeah, I dig
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and drop this right now and then let Chief ask his question. We are going to do hashtag gun show. Hashtag gun show. That is what Dan is bringing to the show tonight, the gun show. So go ahead and drop hashtag gun show for the next giveaway, and we will do the drawing.
Hey, Dan, I seen you had the big skull heads. One's a conditioner, one's a soap. Are they available on the website right now?
Yeah, they should be. If not, the shampoo ones are definitely available.
Yeah, I'm going to snag them up.
Yeah, they're on there. And that was, a lot of people ask how I came up with the idea to do that was, you know, I was always thinking of these little side quests because I'm a hustler. I always think of little entrepreneur things to make money. And I was going to try and do like a small candle business with different candles that were unique kind of. But I had these molds sitting around for a long time. And I didn't want to just do like a basic square block bar, beard shampoo bar. And I was like, I wonder if it would work if I pour it in this mold like this. And it did. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to run it. Because it was fitting for what we do, you know, the whole brand, the skull thing and whatnot. It was just fitting. So that's where I came up with the idea to do the skulls.
I'm afraid, Finest, I might just have it sitting on my beard shelf because I've got a couple really cool soaps that I'm never, ever going to use. But I kind of want to use those. So I might just buy a set to display and a set to use.
Yeah.
How big are they?
They're actually, if you ever went to the store and got a 4-ounce bar of soap from Dial or a brand like that, these are also about the same 4 ounces. So they're pretty big. I mean, they can fit in there. Most people, when they use them, they put them in their, you know, the top of the skull in their palm and put it in that way. So yeah, they're about 3 inches tall by 3 inches deep. They're pretty big.
That'd be a good video right there, man. Soaping up your beard with a skull. Come on.
Johnny Z did one when I first launched it like that in the shower. I know all the girls were loving that one. But there's some videos of me on YouTube making them, demolding them, you know, taking them out of the molds and things like that. But yeah. Maybe in the future there'll be like some hot, sexy shower scene skull videos. I don't know.
Of you or Dino?
Not me. Maybe Dino.
You know, I admire those guys that get in and do those shower scenes because, you know, I thought, you know, I said, you know, I could do one as a joke. And I said, man, I'll lose every follower I got. There's no way I could pull that off.
You don't know that though, man, because people, you know, there's different strokes for different folks, man. People might be like, wow, look at Santa Tom, you know, and then all of a sudden you got like 5 million viewers.
There's nobody that loves me in this world more than my wife does, and she's even said the same thing. No.
Good save, man.
Right.
Good save.
So, okay, guys, we do have 50 people now on the show, right? I appreciate that, but we have.
Is that good? Is that good for your show?
It got up to 60 at one point, so yeah, it's very good.
Very cool.
So we got 39 entries right now. Last chance to get hashtag gun show in for the scent of your choice at Bearded Death. So thanks, Twitch. He's been posting the website in here. I also have it pinned.
Thanks, Twitch.
we are going to go ahead and draw if you guys are ready for this one, because we have one more after this.
Full send.
Oh, well, I forgot. Let me see if I can get it in here.
And that code is 25% off, all one word, all caps.
25 off. Go.
Baker.
And Baker wins. Santa, and he throws in the comment, "Hey, Baker, I get you a win, and you throw me under the bus, brother."
Man.
No, congratulations, Baker.
I think he's local to me, actually, too.
Nice.
Isn't he a Pennsylvania guy?
Let us know, Baker. I'm not for sure, but Baker, if you don't know how to reach out to Dan, which I'm sure you do, reach out to Dan on Instagram. He's on pretty much all the social medias, the Facebook and the Instagram. Reach out to Dan. Congratulations. If you need any help picking out any cents, I'm sure you're an expert already, but just let us know and be more than happy to help. And guys, we will give another giveaway here in just a minute. But what you got, Chief? I know you got a question burning in you.
I kind of do. I want to know what you do as a hobby other than workout and make beard oil and stuff. But I know back in the day, you used to be pretty big in that skateboard and that kind of music and things like that. Tell us a little bit about what you liked then and what you like now.
Well, the reason I started getting into the gym and training and all that stuff was because I had some health issues with my legs. I got vascular disease around 2016. So my legs went to hell, and I ended up not being able to be so mobile. Prior to that, though, skateboarding was my life. I skateboarded from the age of 12, up until maybe 10 years ago. Even to the point where I ended up owning a wood shop manufacturing skateboards. It was my life. I traveled for it. I wrote in magazines, articles, did interviews, everything. It was a big part of my life. So, but the other big thing in my life that has always been a big, huge part of my life is art. My mom got me started in art when I was 4 years old, and I've been doing some kind of art, whether it be painting or sculptures or something like that since then. And even up till today, I still do art and I sell art. Even photography. I'm a published photographer. I have some photographs published in magazines. I mentioned earlier, I love playing old school video games. It's, when I have some free time, I just bust out the Nintendo and I'll play some Dig Dug or something, I love like old Dug. Yeah. Even when I go down if they take the kids down to Ocean City, New Jersey on the boardwalk, I go right to Jilly's Arcade, all the old school arcades in there, and I go in there and I just cash in, I'll get like $50 in quarters and just go to town, play arcade games.
Yeah, nothing like old cabinets, stand up. Oh,
yeah, it's
Galaga.
Cool. Yeah, Galaga, Centipede, Pac-Man, and all that stuff. Dig Dug, like I said, Donkey Kong,
Paperboy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brad is asking, does Dan have a separate website with Skull Pile?
I do. SkullPileApparel.com. And the Instagram is Skull Pile Apparel. So that is musically influenced apparel, I'll say, because I do collaborations with different hardcore and punk bands and metal bands and things like that. It's a little hip hop influence, tattoo art, graffiti art, things like that. And it's just it wasn't really made to be like a big business brand or nothing like that. It was kind of just like a fun project on the side to do with friends' bands and different artists and things like that, to be creative. But it's slowly picking up steam to start actually being like a cool little side quest business now,
right.
with a funny name like Skull Pile, what do you expect? But
you piqued Amber's interest with art. She does like the calligraphy. And
I know. I talked a little bit with her before. I seen her posting some art and stuff like that. She is a very talented artist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And Twitch would like to know how many levels of Pac-Man on one quarter have you played?
Oh, man. I wouldn't even know offhand. But Dig Dug, on the other hand, though, or Elevator Action, or those games, I get up there pretty high. I'll stand there with one quarter and just, come back and see me in an hour and I'll still be playing or something like that.
This is actually a good question. Who's better, Bearded Death Dan or Skull Pile Dan?
That's not the same person. Totally different guy. I tell them, all these people think that, well, I guess everybody knows now, but we used to joke around and say, it's not the same owner. The same guy that owns Bearded Death doesn't own Skull Pile. I'm like,
Yeah.
Some people are like, man, that guy who owns Skull Pile is such a prick, but Dan from Bearded Death's a nice guy. I'm like, yeah, screw that guy.
So, say I wanted a Bearded Chief shirt.
Yeah.
What do I do to go about getting me a Bearded Chief badass?
Just message me anywhere. You can message me on any social media platform or email me at info@beardeddeath.com and get me your artwork. And I can print it right here on the spot. I do all the apparel in-house. I've always done some kind of apparel. Even since I was, in my late teens, early 20s, I've always done some kind of apparel. Like I mentioned earlier, I manufactured skateboards for a little while, but, back in the old school days of skateboarding, we didn't have like DTF roll printers to print skateboards from tip to tip. We screen printed skateboards. Yeah. So I helped out my friend's screen printing shop a lot and learned how to screen print, back when I was younger, old school way. And, but now things are a little more different, a little more easier to do. So if somebody reached out to me and said, hey, I need this on a shirt, I could bust it out, within 20 minutes for you and ship it off.
What about a hat? Can you print down the side?
I can. I mean, I wish I had something right in front of me to show you, but, a lot of these guys that follow me know that I print apparel for different beard care brands, and I recently started printing all the apparel for Renegade Beard Club, and even certain chapters in Bearded Villains, I started doing their apparel for them too now. So if anybody has a beard care business or any business or a band or anything like that that needs merch, they can reach out to me, and I'll be happy to talk to them about printing their stuff for them. I can do hats, joggers, shorts, tank tops, hoodies, whatever, anything you can think of. I've done leggings, bikinis. I've done bikinis.
So you're good there, Dino.
So, Dino, if you need a bikini, a tactical Santa bikini, I got you.
Tactikini.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Little tactikini.
I've got to get all my elf maidens, my workshop maidens in the bikinis for next season.
Oh, goodness. Okay, we have a couple questions here. Baker says if you haven't sent his oil yet, you can put it in the same box with the shirt. I guess he's ordered from you, so
it's already gone.
There you go, Baker.
But I'll send it separate. It's not a big deal.
All right, and then we got, what is Dan's favorite charity, local or national?
There's a few. I'm an autism parent. For both of my sons are on the autism spectrum. So there's a lot of autism charities that I like to support. There's a local organization here in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania called Kids Peace, which caters to a lot of kids with special needs and behavioral problems and things like that. But I'm always down to help out all kinds of charities. People hit me up all the time about sponsoring events for charity, and I love giving back that way. But when it's something to do with autism, anything to do with autism, it hits home a little harder, and I try to help out with those.
Okay. Ask, what is the difference? We're talking about the printing. I've seen that before, but I'm unclear exactly what it is. How is it different from screen printing?
Okay, so there's a few different ways to print. Screen printing is just as the name says, you're using a screen where the image is burned through the screen with photo emulsion. So you'd have like a silhouette of whatever graphic you're printing, right? And you coat the screen in photo emulsion with the image silhouette laying over it, and the light can't pass through it, so it actually burns the image in the screen. So it kind of works as a stencil when you screen print, okay, with the ink. That's screen printing. Then there's a thing called sublimation printing, which is basically a gas printing, but you can only do that on like polyester clothing. That's where you take like an image with sublimation ink, and you would lay it down on a heat press and basically burn the image into the shirt or whatever you're printing. Then there's the new thing, which is DTF printing, which is called direct to film. So that is, it's almost like it's the printer that makes these DTF sheets is printing with a screen print ink. Okay, on the back of this film here, I'll show you quickly. This is a DTF printer here. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, so this, it prints on this film, pretty much like screen printing ink, and it comes out. You apply it wherever you want on the shirt with a heat press, and you know, that's it's pretty simple. It's really easy compared to, you know, screen printing where you got to wash the screen out in a certain amount of time, or it will clog up the pore, you know, the holes for the screen, and burning a screen. It's so much more easier.
Okay.
The other thing is too with DTF printing, how we're doing all the shirts and apparel now is compared to, like, say, using a Cricut or something like that would cut out vinyl. That vinyl usually ends up after a few washes or dries, cracks and peels. Whereas with the DTF, you know, this shirt is maybe 4 months old now. You know, it stretches, the ink stretches, you know, after it's in it. I mean, as long as you're not drying it every day, and the dryer at 100 degrees, it lasts pretty long. They can last up to 50 to 100 washings. So, you know, your shirts could last over a year easily. And it's at a fraction of the cost compared to like a screen printed shirt. So like I was telling you guys earlier on, before we went on, something like the Bearded Death logo for a DTF sheet would cost me, you know, $3.50 to get made before. Now that I have this printer, it cost me about 50 cents just to make that logo. You know how much a t-shirt costs wholesale, roughly $2.50 or something like that. You can make a t-shirt literally for $3.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, guys, I say we do our last giveaway before we start saying our farewells, and I am going to do #Amigos. #Amigos. And we just want to thank Dan for coming on tonight. Man, you know, I've always heard, I really never got a chance to start talking to you until recently, and never had a chance to really talk to you, but I've always heard how nice of a guy Dan is. And you know, you see this guy as a big, burly, just mountain of a man, right? And you think, and you know, it's perception, but I tell you what, he is truly one of the most genuine men you'll ever meet in the bearded community. And I really appreciate you, brother. And want to thank you. I'm going to get mine out of the way right now before we get this drawing, but want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing your life with us and opening up your life. And it means a lot to us. And we all three love your products, and I'm loving them more and more. And I think that it just keeps getting better. It's that snowball effect, right?
Yes.
Somebody asked me in the chat earlier what I think about the new collaboration with Chad. Guys, it is absolutely wonderful. I love it. I don't want to say too much because I'll be doing a review on it, but I talked to Chad earlier today. Guys, all I can say is if you are a tobacco lover, you need this in your collection. But,
even if you're not a tobacco lover, it's good collection.
Right.
Chief, what you got, brother? Well, I wanted to ask him another question real quick before we kind of tune out. In the back of my truck a couple years ago, I had this Bearded Chief, you know, logo obnoxiously large on the tailgate of my truck. Do you do that now, or do you plan on doing any vinyl for, you know,
I do small on the smaller scale. I can do you know, up to a certain size, because I even have on the website, you'll see these window decals, Bearded Death vinyl window decals. But I can, you know, go much larger, but not too large. You know, I'm not doing like vehicle graphics like the side of vans or anything like that. But you know, basic vinyl, you know, graphics like that I can do.
Okay.
Well, Chief, you got any final words to say?
man, awesome show again. I appreciate your time coming on here. It was a hoot getting to know you a little bit more, and the chat's got a little crazy tonight. I love it, man. Thanks everybody, man. It was a good show, good turnout. Always fun hanging out with my buddies, and I've known Dan for a long time. It's always good hanging out with you, buddy. Appreciate you. I'll see your ass soon, baby.
Dino.
Well, yeah, I tell you, man, I am so glad that not only that you're on the show, but I got to meet you this past weekend. You are a solid dude, man. It's so awesome to have you on here. Thank you for coming on. Love your products. And the Tactical Santa and Bearded Death are going to be rolling some collabs together soon on some shirts, and I am excited for that. So, like I said, I am happy that now I can call you a brother. I'm glad I met you, and thank you for coming on the show. And the chat room was wild, like Chief said, and thanks for everybody in the chat room. We couldn't do this without you, and look forward to talking to you some more, Dan.
You guys, thanks for having me on here. And like you said, Dina, it was awesome meeting you this past weekend. And hopefully that in September at the next big beard comp in Ohio, I get to meet all three of you. I think all three of you will be there for Hemp Wizards Battle of the Buckeye, right? The Buckeye Battle, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Sir.
Yep.
Yeah, so I really hope that I can meet all three of you guys there. I know I'm one of the sponsors for the event, so I'll definitely be going out. So if you guys are there, I'll get to meet all three of you there.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely. Well, here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get this going.
Drum roll, please.
Good luck, everybody.
Yay!
Congrats, Brad.
All right, Brad. Good job, man. Congratulations, and reach out to Dan, and we appreciate everybody here. Appreciate you, Brad, and everybody who's won tonight. Congratulations. Thank you, everyone. Dan, any final thoughts? Anything that you want to say to these lovely people that come out and spent some time with you tonight?
I can't believe how many people came out. It's awesome. I really appreciate the support, and it just goes to show how cool the beard community really is for everybody, and supporting everybody, big and small, no matter what. You're in it. Just remember that there's a lot of different aspects to this beard community. May not necessarily see eye to eye on the same things, but we're all part of the same community. So always try to look out for each other and take care of each other and support each other and stay positive.
Absolutely. Well, with that said, I only got a couple things to say. The first thing is Santa Tom here. Remember, this world could use a little kindness. So be kind to one another. And as always, keep Christmas in your heart year round. See you guys next week. Appreciate each and every one of you.